Hello, everybody. It's Isaac from Isaac and Friends, and how are you doing? So today I'm going to be doing something cool. I'm going to share with you my Gundam D20 Black Ops campaign that I started doing on ChatGPT. Now, I'm going to be reading from you. You guys are going to from this, and I'm going to share it. And you guys are going to have some fun with me as I share this awesome thing that I've done. Basically, I had ChatGPT create a G20 game for Gundam, and we are playing a reboot of a previous game that I had done on Model 5. Moonpie is trying to get my attention. I'm trying to let him, but he's being a kitty. He's going, meow, meow. I went up, but not really. I just want to pat your butt for some strange reason, because I'm a cat. Oh, Moonpie. Come here. So, yeah, cat. Cat being cat. So, campaign era setting. Here. Oh, there's Moonpie. Hi, buddy. Oh, there's my sweetheart. Oh. So, by the way, some of this may or may not be very accurate considering that ChatGPT doesn't always get everything correct, but this is a fan creation, so it is for fun. I do not work for Sunset Animation or any of the Sunrise or any of the following people that are officially affiliated with Gundam. This is just me having fun creating my own character in the Gundam universe and maybe exploring a little bit of something you don't normally see. Hey, buddy. So we're going to be Black Ops characters. We're playing a former Zeon Black Ops now working for Ayuk. Hey, kitty. Where do you think you're going? Hi. Yes, you be cute. You be fuzzy and cute. Campaign era setting, UC 0084. Backdrop, Operation Stardust has just ended in disaster for the Federation fleet, giving the Earth Federation an excuse to form the Titans, an elite and ruthless task force to root out Zeon remnants. Atmosphere, paranoia, surveillance, militarization grip of the Earth sphere. The Titans act above the law, and their brutality is pushing delusioned soldiers, citizens, and even Federation officers toward the growing anti-Earth union group, AUG. Hi. Mirror. Oh, hi, kitty. So obviously the factions, we have the Earth Federation and Titans. Hi, buddy. Then we have AUG, newly emerging, small but resourceful, with roots in dissenting Federation officers, colonists from Side 1 and 2. Neo Zeon Remnants. Axis Zeon, Anaheim Electronics. Player character. Call sign, Grave Dog. Background, former Zeon Black Ops, possibly part of a commando and mobile suit infiltration unit. He survived the 1-year war and its aftermath by doing the Federation's dirty work in exchange for survival until Titan purges made his usefulness expire. Transition, delusioned by Titan excess, he quietly contacts early AU agents through Anaheim intermediaries, offering expertise in covert ops, assassinations, mobile suit piloting. Personality, cold professionalism on the outside, but quietly idealistic. The kind of man who keeps a memorial log of every squad mate who didn't make it back. Skills, stealth, sabotage, infiltration, close quarters MS combat, ECM electronic warfare. Current MS begins in a heavily modified MS-18E Campfire Shakal, retrofitted for AU needs with salvaged Federation tech. Better sensors, EMC suite, beam sabers instead of shotguns. Note, the AU may soon trade this prototype for an RMS 117 Garibaldi or early Rick Diaz frame as the campaign advances. Opening scene. Colony Side 1, Industrial Block 3, The Yard, Anaheim's semi-legally refit depot. Date 84/2/11. Disguised as a civilian cargo hauler returning from a deep space salvage job, Grave Dog docks at the yard to meet a contact. Word is the Titans have begun Project Rosa, mass arrests of anyone with Zeon ties regardless of current allegiance. Your AU contact, a woman marked in an unmarked suit, passes you a coded data core and orders. Get this to Levian Rose. The Titans can't have it. And Jackson, they know your name. Scene 1, The Yard. UC 0084. February 11th. Side 1, Industrial Block 3, Dock 6. The dull clang of a magnetic clamp echoes through the cargo hauler's hull as the Yamato Star settles into the docking cradle. Out of the viewport, the yard sprawls before you. The ugly lattice of repair gantries, patchwork, and hab modules, and sealed cargo pods. Anaheim Electronics logo is nowhere to be seen, but every mechanic here knows who pays the bills. You stand at the edge of the cargo bay, helmet clipped to your belt, the faint smell of ozone and burnt propellant hanging in the recycled air. Dock crews in grease-stained overalls swarm the bay, ignoring you, but not the lack of noticing. Everyone here knows better than to stare at a man with a military gait and scars under his eyes. Environmental detail. The colony's artificial sunlight is dim in the industrial sector, giving everything a washed-out gray look. External gantries are bristling with half-dismantled MS, a pair of GM Type Cs, a gutted Rick-Dom 2, and something under a tarp that is distinctively Zeon mono-eye glow barely visible. Overhead, you catch the distant thump of thruster burns. Small craft coming in faster than dock control normally allows. Your contact. A slim woman in an unmarked pilot suit steps out from behind the cargo container, the helmet under her arm revealing a sharp-featured face and black hair. She moves with a pilot's economy, no wasted motion. Without greeting, she holds out a sealed palm-sized data core, dual matte with AU security glyph stenciled on it. Contact. Get this to Levian Rose. No questions, no stops. If the Titans get it, everything we've been building dies in the crib. She glances over your shoulder, toward the docking bay entrance. Her jaw tightens. Contact. Jackson, they know your name. Complication. From the main dockside concourse, a trio of Titans officers in black and blue uniforms push through the crowd. Their movements are too deliberate for a casual inspection. Rifle mags locked to their hips, sidearms already unclipped. Behind them, you spot two RMS 106 Hyzacs, easing into the bay outside. Their visors scanning like hunting dogs. Your comm earpiece chirps. Anaheim ground crew on a tight beam. Grave Dog, you got 3 minutes tops before those blue boys ask for your docking registry. You have the initiative, do you? 1. Play it quiet. Hide the data core and try to blend into the dock crowd, slipping out via maintenance tunnels. Go loud. Grab the core, sprint for the Yamato Star, and launch before the Titans box you in. Set the trap. Use the EMS under repair and the gantry as cover. Maybe even get this call into the fight before they realize it's powered up. Option 3. Set the trap. Scene 1. The yard continued. You give the woman a barely perceptible nod and slip the data core into your suit's inner pocket. Your boots carry you a deceptive comm toward the gantry row, where the Skakal sits half-shrouded under thermal tarp. It's mono-eye dark. Except it isn't. You head the techs, wire it for hot standby before docking. Reactor warm, thrusters primed. Weapons magazines locked to quick release. Tactical setup. Enemy forces. 3 Titan security officers on foot, approximately 20 meters away, moving toward your dock. 2 RMS-106 Hyzaks in the bay outside. Not actively hostile, but scanning. Environment. Gantry row is cluttered with crates, spare limbs, fuel drums, excellent for cover. Cargo cranes overhead could be remotely triggered. 2 other suits in the gantry, a disabled GM Type C and a stripped-down Recdom 2. You climb the gantry ladder in a smooth practice rhythm, keeping your body language like any other mechanic checking a machine. By the time you're inside the Skakal's cockpit, the HUD flickers to life in muted red. Silent mode engaged. The contact's voice crackles through a short burst comm. Contact, 2 minutes. Make it count. You watch through the mono-eyed feed as the Titan's officers round the last stack of crates and stop. Speaking into their comms, 1 Hyzak visor locks directly onto your gantry. They know. Your options in the moment. Fire the Skakal's beam rifle point blank at the head of the Hyzak before it finishes locking on. High risk of collateral but devastating surprise. Crane drop. Use the cargo crane to slam a fuel drum stack into the Titan's officers. Distract the Hyzaks long enough to launch. Feign power failure. Pretend the Skakal is dead, then spring the trap once they move in to secure it. Which way does the Gravedog play it? Ambush now, cause chaos with a crane, or wait for them to close before striking? Crane drop! Alright, crane drop it is. We'll play it like a covert op turning into a flash assault. Scene 1. ER, tactical action, crane drop. From inside the Skakal's cockpit, you keep the mono-eye dark. Your left hand ghosts over the manual gantry controls, patching into your console. An old mechanics override you made sure was still functional. A soft click brings the cargo crane's mag clamps online. Over the Titan security team. A rack of 5 massive fuel drums hangs suspended, each one big enough to crush a man or cripple a mobile suit's centered head. Timing. The 3 Titan officers close in to 10 meters of your gantry's ladder. Their rifles half raised. The lead one barks an order. Pilot in the gantry, step out, you're under. You cut him off by thumping the release. Impact. A shrieking groan of steel fills the bay as the clamp disengages. The drums plummet, spinning violently. Wham! They hit the deck in an ear-splitting crash, exploding into a geyser of sparks and aerosolized propellant. The shockwave knocks the officer sprawling, weapons skidding across the deck. 1 Hyzak stumbles back in surprise, mono-eye darting toward the hazard. Opening created. The Hyzak sensors are momentarily blinded by the volatile mist and heat bloom. Dock worker scatters, alarms blare, and emergency bulkheads begin to close, but you've got seconds to act. Choices from here. Kick the Skakal into full readiness, blast out the bay before the Titans recover. Target the Hyzak now. Use the confusion to take out the Hyzak before it gains retargeting. Target the Hyzak. You flip the Skakal's mono-eye to life. Competitors hum to full charge in under a second. You squeeze the trigger. The shot lances through the haze, a blinding spear of pink-white light. The Hyzak barely twitches before the bolt punches through its visor, slagging the sensor head and detonating internal systems. The machine jerks once, then collapse backwards into the dock wall with a thunderous clash, scattering plating and composite shards across the bay. Immediate fallout. The second Hyzak snaps its mono-eye to your possession, weapon arm raising. Titan's officers on foot are scrambling for cover, shouting into their comms for reinforcements. Emergency klaxons for from hazard to intruder. You got at most 90 seconds before station security or Titan's reinforcements hit the bay. Engage the second Hyzak, risk a straight-up duel in close quarters. Use the rack, shove the dead Hyzak's body into the second one to buy time. I choose option 1, close quarters duel. The surviving Hyzak's beam rifle snaps up. You're already moving. Skakal lunges forward, thrusters flaring, and the enemy's first shot sears past your shoulder, vaporizing Kratos' spear of actuators. You close the gap in less than 30 meters. In the narrow confines of the gantry bay, that's knife fighting range for mobile suits. You thumb the Skakal's quick release for its right hip beam saber, igniting into a violet flare. Hyzak switches its rifle grip to block, using the weapon like a staff to parry. Your saber bites into the rifle's barrel. Molten metal spills out into zero-G globs. The Hyzak's jerking back to avoid losing an arm. You follow with a brutal shoulder check, slamming your suit's reinforced armor into its chest. The impact drives it back into the bay's outer bulkhead, with enough force to buckle the plating. Finishing move. With the Hyzak pinned, you switch the saber to an underhand grip and thrust it upward. The blade pierces the cockpit block in one smooth motion. The enemy suit spasms once, then slumps as the reactor goes dark. You withdraw the saber and flick it off, the mono eye dimming back to a predatory slit. Status. Both Hyzaks neutralized. Dock floor is chaos. Smoke, burning debris, panic workers, and incapacitated Titan security. Your AU contact is waving frantically from the shadows, pointing toward the outer bay doors. The station's emergency lockdown is near complete. Punch through the doors now and make a break for it. That's what I did. Punch through the doors it is. Time to leave. The yard is in pieces behind you. You lock the Skakal's grip on the beam rifle, switching to the generator output to overdrive, and drop low into a low sprint toward the bay doors. Red emergency shutters are already grinding down from the top, thick enough to stop a warhead, but not you. Impact. Your thrusters flare, slamming the Skakal into the doors at full tilt. The first plate crumbles under the beam saber's white heart arc, sparks erupting into a blinding fan as the armor parts like foil. You drive your suit's shoulder through the breach, metal screaming in protest. Into the black. Beyond the ragged hold, the colony's curve falls away behind you, replaced by the velvet void of space. You burst free in a spray of debris, shards of shattered hull plating tumbling end over end past the drifting wreckage of Hyzaks you left behind. The Skakal's sensors light up with warning pings. Station defense turrets are spooling up, but you're already spinning away, dumping heat, pushing away toward a cluster of derelict cargo containers to mask your escape. Status report. Damage. Minor superficial scoring. No systems compromised. Ammo, energy. Beam saber at 78% capacity. Rifle at 60% charge. Pursuit. No mobile suits launched yet, but Titan's frigates are likely scrambling. Next objective. Your AU contact voice cuts through the comms. Type beam encrypted. Contact. Nice work, Grave Dog. Get to relay point theta. You'll meet the Lavian Rose there. And Jackson? They'll put a price on your head after this. Welcome to the AUG. I goes through the debris. Got it. Goes through the debris it is. We'll make it tense, stealthy, and cinematic just the way the Grave Dog operates. Ghost Run. UC-84, 211. Side 1 perimeter debris field. The void is silent, but the Skakal's HUD is alive with motion. Slow spinning cargo containers, broken slow solar arrays, gutted ship hulls, drifting like dead whales. This is your cover. You kill the main thrusters, letting inertia carry you while the reactor hums at barely more than an idle. Every move is a feather-like puff from the veneers, keeping your heat and EM signature low. Pursuers, 2 Titan Salamis Kai-class frigates, fan out from the yard's approach vector, their searchlights cutting through bright scars into the darkness. Your radar catches 3 GM Quell suits sweeping ahead of them, each running active scans. They're good. They're moving slow and methodical, but they're looking for a running target. You're not running. You're vanishing. Stealth maneuver. You angle the skull behind the jagged remains of an old moose-sized engine block, its composite shielding still masking you from direct scans. The debris field is littered with old one-year war wreckage. Bent Zaku arms, shattered beam rifles, even a rusting space-type gun tank with a hole through its chest. You time your moves so that the GM Quell's sensors sweep always past just as you slide behind another piece of junk. One of the Quells drifts too close. Its mono eye sweeping across the wreckage you're tucked behind. Your thumb hovers over the beam saber ignition, but the Quell pauses, then turns away. Thrusters blooming as it heads back to its formation. You let the breath you didn't know you were holding out in a slow stream. You slide deeper into the field, letting a fumbling cargo pod carry you into the shadow until the Titan ships fade into specks. The comms crackle again. Contact. Clear signal. Data point is 2 clicks ahead. Levy and Rose will have you on board in 10. Activate EMC and disappear, heading for the meeting point. Alright, Grave Dog goes full ghost. Of course I do. Scene 2, Ghost Run continued. You reach over to the Skakal's right console, flipping up a red safety cover. Beneath it, the EMC toggle waits, a piece of Zeon Black Ops kit you've kept through every refit. With a low whump, the generator hums a swift pitch. Your HUD fuzzes with static for a heartbeat, as your own sensors compensate and your suit's signature bleeds away into the void. Invisible in the black. Thermal profile reduced to the background haze of cosmic dusk and wreck heat. EM signature gone. You're just another hunk of junk to a Titan scanner. Visual. The Skakal's paint scheme, matte and broken with irregular gray patterns, makes you vanish against the debris. You weave through the last stretch of twisted halls and frozen gas clouds, making no more sound than the whisper of your life support. Theta point. On the far side of a tumbling, gutted Salamis hall, a faint blue strobe pulses 3 short, 1 long, the prearranged AU signal. Moments later, a dark, angular shape slides into view. The support ship Lavian Rose, Anaheim's mobile engineering platform. Its massive arms and cranes stretch like a mechanical bloom against the black. A tight beam comm snaps into your headset. AU Ops. Unidentified mobile suit. You're in AU gear space. Transmit passcode. You tap the code in manually. 4 quick, 1 long. The reply comes. Welcome home, Grave Dog. Bring her in slow. Approach. The docking arms reach for you as you glide under minimal thrust. The base swallows the Skakal, floodlights revealing the mottled scars on its armor from the yard. Tech crews and AU flight suits are already moving, some whispering at the sight of a Zeon frame in their hangar. Waiting at the far end of the catwalk is a tall man in an AU officer's jacket, hands clasped behind his back. His rank bars mark him as Captain Lucien Farrow, operations coordinator for the Lavian Rose. Farrow, Mr. Jackson, you made quite the entrance. You've just put yourself on the Titan's most wanted list. And ours. Just defending myself, sir. Just defending myself and getting the intel. Scene 3, Lobby and Rose. You step down from the skull, helmet tucked under your arm. The smell of lubricants and coolant mixes with the faint tang of recycled air. Every AU tech has their eyes on you. Some wary, some curious. All aware you just brought a Zeon-built suit past Titan patrols. Captain Pharaoh steps forward, boots ringing on the back plates. His voice is steady, but there's a trace of approval beneath the caution. Pharaoh, our contact says you brought us something worth more than a shipload of beam rifles. You care to tell me how you made it here with 2 dead Isaacs behind you? Your response, Gravedog, wasn't looking for a fight. Titans pushed it. I defended myself. And made damn sure the intel got here. You pull the matte black data core from your suit and hand it over. Pharaoh takes it with a gloved hand, passing it to a waiting technician without breaking eye contact. Pharaoh's reply. Pharaoh, self-defense or not, the Titans will say it was an unprovoked attack. They'll tighten their grip on Side 1 over this. But this intel could break open their latest operation. Maybe even give us an edge before grips. We'll get your suit refitted. EMC like that? ECM like that? You'll be useful. Very useful. Status update. Intel secured. Data core delivered to AU hands. Standing officially welcomed into AU operations. Enemy threatened. Titans will now actively track Gravedog in Federation space. Expect bounties, traps, and smear campaigns. Pharaoh leans in slightly. Get some rack time. You'll have your first op briefing in 6 hours. And Jackson? From this point on, you're not just surviving. You're fighting back. Understood, sir. Permission to speak frankly. Pharaoh's eyes narrow slightly, not in disapproval, but in the way of a career officer measuring a man before giving him leash. You've got it, Gravedog. Speak your mind. The hum of the Hangar 4 fades for a moment. Tech crews still work, but no one's close enough to overhear. The data core is already on its way back to ops decks. I don't care what the Titans think. They're rounding up kids and other civilians. They can bite my ass. Pharaoh's expression doesn't change much, but there's the faintest curl at the corner of his mouth. The kind of grim approval only shared by someone who's seen the same injustices. Pharaoh. Then we're in agreement. The Titans call it security, I call it fear with a uniform. He steps closer, lowering his voice. Make no mistake, Jackson. The AU isn't perfect, but we're not rounding up families in the middle of the night. You've got skill, you've got the will to use it, and that makes you dangerous to them. He taps the side of his temple. Stay sharp, stay alive, and keep that fire. We'll need it. He straightens again, voice back to the command tone. Dismissed. You'll be briefed for your first op in 6 hours. Until then, get to know the ship. And Jackson, we don't waste good pilots here. I salute and head to the ranks. You snap a quick, crisp salute, the kind that says you've worn a uniform long enough to make the motion muscle memory, even if you've changed the flag you stand under. Pharaoh returns it with a short nod, or returning toward the ops deck with the quiet weight of a man, carrying too many battles on his head. Scene transition, crew quarters. Your walk to the racks takes you through the lobby and Rose spine quarters. Narrow, utilitarian, every bulkhead humming faintly from the ship's massive fabrication arrays. And you can crew glance up as you pass. Some giving wary nods, others curious looks at the Zeon cut pilot suit. Your assigned rack is on deck C, compartment 47. 8 bunks stacked, double in a space just big enough for the essentials. A locker, fold-out desk, and privacy curtain. It smells faintly of metal polish, and coffee someone in the next bay was brewing. Winding down, you stow your sidearm and gear in the locker, helmet resting on the top shelf. Boots come off the deck cool under your feet. The low murmur of the ship, coolant pumps, life support becomes the background lullaby for every spacer. You stretch out in the rack, curtain half drawn, your eyes close. But the day's images stay behind them. The crane drop, the flash of the beam sabers, the Titan insignia burning on wrecks. Sleep comes, but not the light kind. The kind a soldier learns to wake from at the first sound of trouble. I wake up and grab a quick bite to eat, then head for the briefing room. Scene 4, First Orders. UC 0084. February 12th. AUG support ship Levian Rose. You wake to the soft chime of the ship's time tone. 6 hours exactly. No alarm needed. Your body already trained to snap awake when it's time to move. After a quick rinse in the Spartan washroom, you hit the mess. Breakfast is whatever the quartermaster had on hand. A protein bar, rehydrated coffee, and a pouch of something claiming to be scrambled eggs. You eat on your feet, eyes scanning the room. Crew chatter dies down slightly when they notice you. The new face, the one who brought a Zeon frame through Titan space without getting spaced. Briefing room. The door hisses open to reveal a long, low-lit compartment dominated by a hollow table. 3 officers and 2 tech specialists stand around it, all in AUG flight and command gear. Captain Farrow is at the head, arms folded. The hollow projector flickers to life, casting a rotating 3D model of a Titan's convoy. 1 Pegasus-class assault carrier, 2 Salamis Kai-class escorts, escort wing, 4 GM Quells, 2 Hyzacs. Cargo, a sealed container marked top secret moving from Earth orbit to Von Braun City on Luna. Pharaoh's voice. We've confirmed the intel you brought in. The Titans are moving a prototype mobile suit through civilian space. They're keeping it quiet, using a resupply run as cover. Your mission, intercept the convoy inside Forest debris belt. We can't destroy the cargo. Anaheim wants it intact. Board, secure, and extract. Minimum collateral. The fewer civilian eyes, the better. Your role. Pharaoh, Gravedog. You'll be in the Skakal, running ECM to get us close. Once we're in range, you lead the strike team in. Disable the escorts and force the carrier to surrender the container. You'll have support from 2 Rick Diaz units, but you'll be on point. He leans slightly, tone flat but tensed. Do it clean and we'll have a weapon that could tip the balance between grips. Screw it up, and the Titans will parade your wreckage on every channel. Understood. Got anything that might give the edge intelligence-wise? Pharaoh gives a short nod, not annoyed, but clearly pleased you're thinking beyond point me at the target. He taps a key on the hollow table. Projection shifts. Intelligence brief. Prototype ID. AUG analysts believe the cargo contains a new Titan's mobile suit frame, designated RX-121 Hazel. Based on the GM Quill architecture, but fitted with experimental thruster packs and modular weapon hardpoints. Not combat tested yet, likely running a limited power plant until full assembly at Von Braun. Convoy is scheduled to make 2-hour-long stop inside for debris belt for resupply and navigation recalibration. Escorts will be on standard patrol rotation, meaning there will be moments when the Pegasus class is covered by only 1 or 2 mobile suits. Environmental edge. The debris belt is thick. Wreckage from the 1-year war battles. Dead satellites, derelict transports. If you run ECM and keep thermal low, you can approach within 500 meters before they spot you, especially if you use the wrecks as cover. Weak point. Salamis-class escorts have blind spots under their engine blocks and at certain angles near the hangar doors. The Pegasus-class carrier is lightly shielded along the dorsal spine. That's where the container is magnetically secured. Pharaoh kills the display and fixes you with a steady look. We're giving you the best shot you'll get. I have 30 seconds to disable their comms and... You'll have 30 seconds to disable their comms and take the carrier before Full escort regroups. After that, they'll swarm you. They use the ECM and stealth to the cargo hold. UC 84.02.13. Side 4 debris belt. 034. 0340 hours. The Skakal floats in black, cradled by the jagged silhouette of a shattered Mosai hull. Reactor on Whisper, EMC active. Your sensors are nothing but a haze of ghost returns and static. But that's the point. Through the faint green of the optical feed, the Titan's convoy drifts into view. The Pegasus-class carrier is in the center, running navigation lights for the benefit of its escorts. Two Salamis-Kai cruisers flanking it like guard dogs. Patrol patterns unfolding just like Pharaoh's intel predicted. A GM Quell breaking off to sweep the opposite sector, leaving the carrier with only one Hyzak on visual watch. Environmental advantage. The debris belt is dense. Here you've got centuries of records between you and them. Old Side 4 colony, frame sections, one-year war capital ship hulks, even the skeletal remains of a solar array big enough to hide a squadron. Every chunk of junk you slip behind buys you another 20 seconds closer. Your ECM suite hums, wrapping you in a digital shroud to their scopes. You're just another cold, dead piece of metal, closing the gap. 1,500 meters. Carrier looms larger. You can make it out scorched marks along her port side. 800 meters. You slip under a drifting transport's keel. Your mono-eye dark. 500 meters. The Hyzak's patrol arc carries it too far to the far side of the carrier. You can see it now. The container mag locked to the dorsal spine. Anaheim stencil faint under the fresh Titan's markings. The cargo bay hatch beneath it is sealed, guarded by a small sensor cluster and a single automated point defense turret. Options for the target. Eject EVA across the hull, plant a shaped charge to open the bay without alerting the ship's bridge. Skakal breach. Use the Skakal's saber to cut into the bay doors directly from stealth, risking a quick sensor spike. Hijack the guard Hyzak. Ambush and neutralize it before it notices you. Then use its ID codes to spoof entry clearance. 3. We gonna hijack and spoof. Scene 5. Silent approach continued. Target. Hyzak guard unit. ID spoofing plan. You ease the Skakal back behind the twisted hull plating of an old Salamis wreck and cut main thrusters. The ECM bubble ripples faintly as you power down active sensors to avoid even a whisper of a spike. Through the optical scope, the Hyzak completes its patrol arc, sliding across your line of sight about 200 meters away. It's lazy drift. The pilot's relying too much on unanimated scans. Probably bored out of his mind. Perfect. Execution. Step 1. Approach. You use three short Werner bursts, each time to the debris. Rotation. Keeping the Skakal in shadow until you parallel the Hyzak's starboard quarter. In smooth motion, you ignite the beam saber at a low power, low flare setting and drive it clean through the Hyzak's backplate thrusters. The machine jerks once, propulsion dead, before you slam an armored hand over the cockpit block. A quick and precise burst of cutting heat severs the hatch's mag locks. You reach in, yank the pilot into the void. His panicked screams cut to static as his comms flare with ECM interference. The Hyzak is yours. You link the Hyzak's still active ID transponder to the Skakal's comm array. Within seconds, your suit's signal reads as the patrol unit returning from a sweep. The Pegasus class responds without suspicion. Carrier control. Hyzak 2, return to dorsal maintenance bay for post-patrol check. Exactly what you wanted. Current position. You're gliding in under full disguise. The carrier point defense system is cycling to friendly mode. The cargo bay mag doors begin to roll open as you close to 50 meters. Inside, you can see the hazy blue glow of a containment fields and the matte black outline of the RX-121 Hazel frame under assembly. Board the bay quietly, the Hazel shadow. The Skakol glides in on maneuvering thrusters, every move deliberate, silent and unhurried, just another Hyzak coming back from its patrol. The bay mag shields shimmer briefly as you pass through. The shift is inline, making the Skakol's armor glint for a heartbeat. No alarms, no shouts, just the normal bustle of a maintenance crew. Inside the bay, the RX-121 Hazel is unmistakable, even half complete. Its frame stands taller than a standard GM, bulkier in the shoulders with new thrusters packs jutting like a predator's wings. It's still in dry-dock clamps, weapons racked ready beam rifle, shield boosters, and what looks like an experimental composite shield module. Around it, 4 dock crews and Titan's maintenance gear. Busy linking control cables. One junior officer at a mobile console boredly scanning diagnostic readouts. Overhead cranes and catwalks clutter the ceiling, perfect for cover or quick repositioning. Your situation. The Skakol still has the Hyzak's ID active, but up close any sharp tech could spot the deception. Your ECM is still on low power, masking unusual comms traffic, but not completely invisible this close. The bay doors are still open behind you. Your escape route is clear for now. We choose silent grab. You ease the Skakol forward, moving smooth and purposefully. The way any returning escort might, nose in to assist with cargo handling. The Hyzak ID ping is still glowing green on the carrier's transponder net. The bay crew barely glance up as your manipulators reach for the Hazel's support clamps. One tech gestures vaguely, assuming you've been ordered to shift the unit for maintenance priority. Execution. Step 1, clamp override. You link the cable from the Skakol's wrist port into the Hazel's mooring control panel. The override code you lifted from the Hyzak runs clean, tricking the system into thinking the junior officer on deck authorized the release. Disengage. The dock clamps hiss when retract. The Hazel frame floats free in the mag field. Its mono-eye dark. System's cold. Toe link. You snap a mag coupler from your hip. Rack to the Hazel's back mount, locking the tow cable in place. The crew reacts. One of the techs frowns, finally looking up from his work. Hey, wait, we weren't told about a transfer to... You cut him off with a casual salute and a slight thrust backwards, pulling the Hazel toward the still open bay doors. The ECM suite sends a brief burst of false orders into the carrier's comms. Hazel unit transfer to forward inspection bay, priority 1. The junior officer doesn't even question it, just waves the crew back to their tasks. My God, Titans are dumb. Titans are dumbasses. Okay. Extraction. The Skakol drifts clear of the bay with the Hazel in tow. Once you breach the mag shield, you cut through the tow's safety. You cut the tow's safety tether and spool up your thrusters to burn the low burn, aiming for the debris belt's shadow. The carrier remains oblivious, thinking you're still one of theirs on an unauthorized run. Behind you, the Pegasus class shrinks against the backdrop of Side 4's fractured horizon. You've just stolen a Titan's prototype in broad daylight, and they don't even know it's gone. I use my ECM suite to ghost the Hazel out. The Skakol's EM suite system hums at full low-profile output, wrapping both you and the Hazel in a blanket of digital snow. To any Titan sensor sweep, the two of you are now nothing more than an oddly shaped tumbling chunk of debris. The exit. You slip back into the densest part of the belt, hugging the shadowed Sides of the wrecks where background radiation masks heat traces. Every few minutes, you tap the verniers just enough to adjust the drift, avoiding any movement pattern that might betray intelligent control. The Hazel's power remains offline. Its system's cold, its mono-eye as dark as a dead satellite. Titan's response. Over the comms, you catch faint Titan chatter, not from the carrier, but from the patrol unit sweeping the belt's outer edge. They've spotted something else. Maybe one of the Jim Quells picked up a false reading. That's fine. Every second they chase ghosts you didn't make is the second you're closer to the Aeug. Approach to Lavian Rose. As you clear the last screen of debris, the starlight catches a distant metallic boom. Lavian Rose. She's dark, running, lights minimal, but only the faint glint of her engineering arms betraying her shape. A tight beam crackles in. Ops control. Unidentified mobile suit transmit clearance code. You ping the Aeug cipher. The reply comes almost instantly. Ops control. Confirmed. Welcome home, Gravedog. You're bringing home a friend, I see. Docking. The Aeug crew moves fast. Within minutes, the Hazel is secured in a private bay under heavy guard, and the Skakala is guided to its berth. As your cockpit opens, you see Captain Farrow waiting, arms folded, and the faintest smirk under the hangar lights. One prototype is requested, sir. Farrow watches as the Hazel is lowered into a secured maintenance bay, cranes and tech crews swarming over it like ants. His smirk deepens into something that almost pride. Farrow, one prototype. That's not so much as a scorch mark on it? I've seen Black Ops teams lose half their men trying to pull something like this. He steps forward, voice dropping so only you can hear. Jackson, you didn't just bring us a machine. You humiliated the Titans. They'll be tearing their own security protocols apart for weeks trying to figure out how it vanished under their noses. Recognition. The Aeug Tech Chief, a wiry woman with a data pad permanently glued to her hand, gives you a sharp nod. Tech Chief. Hazel's core systems are pristine. You even kept the ID transponder intact. That's going to be useful. Farrow turns back to you. Get to some rest and keep your head low. The Titans will be moving faster now. But you've just proved why I wanted you here. Welcome to the top of their kill list, Gravedog. Wear it like armor. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little reading. We will see you next time. Stay safe, my friends. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And you'll get to see some more of these awesome games I play.